With the international break coming to an end, it is finally time to start talking about Arsenal's big game on the weekend against Manchester City. Now, despite Arsenal not having the best record at the Etihad and being in such a crucial game where they simply have to get a result, there's going to be a lot of negativity before the game starts. But I actually think Arsenal shouldn't be afraid of Manchester City, and I think this is the best time to play them. Let's get into it. So, as you all know, obviously looking at the Premier League table, there is 1 point separated Arsenal, who are top of the league, and third place Manchester City. And when Arsenal play at the Etihad, anything can happen and any position can be moved from either of the sides. A draw or a loss to Arsenal could potentially put Liverpool top of the league, or a win for Arsenal could potentially put Manchester City quite far away, being 4 points behind the league leaders. And after this game, none of Arsenal, Liverpool and Manchester City will play each other for any part in the Premier League season, so it definitely comes down to that other game. Now, straight away, the stats necessarily don't look good going to the Etihad, but Arsenal should be confident going into this game throughout their season. They have the best record against the top six within the big six, having played 6 and won 3 and drawn 3 this season, totaling a point of 12. Manchester City are second and only have a total of points of 11, but they have played 8 games, won 2, drawn 5 and lost 1. And their 12 goals conceded is actually quite a lot than a lot of the other teams. And specifically, the 2 times that Arsenal have played Manchester City this season, they have got the better of them. Obviously, in the Community Shield, they scored that last minute equaliser with Leandro Trossard and then won on penalties, and they won 1-0 from that late deflected Martinelli goal off the bench to give them the win at the Emirates. And these games were very tight, don't get me. Looking at the stats for the Community Shield game, the XG was below 1 for both teams and there was barely many shots on target, with the possession being just slanted to Manchester City. And now if we look at the Premier League game, it is very similar. There's only 3 shots on target in the game by the 2 teams, and the possession is almost even, with the passes and pass accuracy also being the same. Arsenal won that day from a late deflected goal, and it was actually a lot of ingenuity that won it for Arsenal, with brilliant substitutions by Mikel Arteta, bringing Tomiyasu in, him running through the middle, Havertz laying it off, and Martinelli being in the right position to have a shot, take a deflection and go in. There was luck about it, but it's also very good by Mikel Arteta to bring these players on. And right now, Arsenal are currently the best defensive and probably one of the best teams in Europe. They are on 8 wins in the row in the Premier League and haven't conceded over a 1 XG in any of these games. Teams are simply not getting close enough to their goals to create consistent chances, and they're creating a lot, often dominating these teams, and even when a game is close like Brentford, they end up getting the win in the end. Now, Manchester City, on the other hand, haven't exactly been playing the best, but they have still been getting very good results. Obviously, looking specifically at their last 2 Premier League games, they beat Manchester City and drew to Liverpool. In both these games, they did struggle in different circumstances, however. Against Liverpool, they consistently struggled to create enough chances to sustain the Liverpool attack. Liverpool were often pressing them in very quickly, and as although Man City definitely had chances and ended up scoring a goal from a corner, a lot of players definitely didn't play their best, and they often probably should have lost in the end, maybe by a late penalty. And in the Man United game, they utterly dominated Manchester United, but Man United scored an early goal and tried to sit on that, and they ended up sitting on it for around 67 minutes, showing that the Manchester City attack is not exactly firing on all cylinders right now, and even people like Haaland have been on a low recently. And Haaland's form is definitely a big thing going into this game. Haaland has not been playing brilliantly recently. In the Premier League, he's only scored 2 in his last 5 games, and it's not really about the goal scoring, it's the fact he is missing consistent amount of good chances for this team. Now, with the amount of chances that he gets, and he gets in great position, it's no surprise that he has the most chances missed in the Premier League this year, sitting at 26, because last season he also had the most at 28, but he had 28 across the whole season, and just in 28 games with 10 games left, he's almost got to the same level as last year. And overall, that's been fine for Manchester City in a lot of games, because they're allowed to create a lot of chances, like your Manchester United game and the Everton game, where they create so much, eventually he will get his opportunity. But against Liverpool, they didn't create too much, and he often got man-marked out of the game by Van Dijk. Now, even though Haaland definitely got past him that one occasion, has shot a goal, he's really been struggling against these defenders that get on him. And something that Arsenal have done in the 2 games this season is actually use Saliba and Gabriel to take turns to mark him and sort of be very physical with him, not allowing him to have much time on the ball. This has worked really well, and Haaland's been very ineffective this season against Arsenal in both the games they've played, so that is definitely a confidence booster for Arsenal. However, there's also a possibility that Erling Haaland doesn't even play this game. Now, I don't even think he's been that effective against Arsenal, and I think tactically I would be probably picking someone else to maybe change it up. But there's obviously a lot of injuries that there needs to be considered. Manchester City themselves have had a few players come out of the international break looking injured. Kyle Walker and John Stones for England got brought off early, and they both look a doubt for the game against Arsenal. Apparently Kyle Walker's 50-50. Erling Haaland, Akanji, Bernardo Silva and Ruben Diaz also came off or were injured at some point in their international break. Now, this could all be in a ruse and could be a different direction where they actually all end up playing, or where some of them do, and I probably expect some of them to end up getting in the team. But not just us, Real Madrid are also around the corner for Manchester City, so they've got to think what they matter more for them right now. And on the Arsenal perspective, I think everyone is supposed to be back. We've got Timber obviously on the bench. I think you put him on the bench at least to start off, but there is definitely question marks over Martinelli. Now, I think Martinelli could be a real key for Arsenal in this game, running in behind, getting in space on that left side and being a direct winger. I expect them maybe to play Doku, so they could do it as well. But it'd be good to have our own option to break very quickly. But if he isn't fully fit, he obviously can come on and hopefully have the same impact he had at the game at the Emirates. And now I'm going to get into a big tactical deep dive of how I think Arsenal could possibly beat Man City later on in the week. But right now I want to say that the mental side of it is definitely a big factor as well. Arteta is a brilliant manager, and we know he has tactically outplayed a lot of great managers in great games. And in some games against Man City, I think that game at the Emirates where Gabriel got early red carded and we scored to make 1-0 up and then conceded that last minute goal to Rodri was the same. I think Arsenal tactically outplayed Man City, but we didn't have the team or the composure maybe to actually get the result that day. And you can say we have definitely been a bit lucky. I think tactically we were a lot better than Man City in the game at the Emirates, but in the end we had to get a bit of luck to get that goal. Brilliant play by Arteta to make it happen, but obviously the end shot is lucky. Even with the fact we scored that last minute equaliser in the Community Shield, took a massive deflection and we went for it and then we won on penalties. But it doesn't matter how you get them first wins, that just matters. And I think that the mental side of Arsenal knowing they can finally beat Manchester City could be massive in this game. We haven't beat them at the Etihad in a very long time, or even really got a result there. Last year, even in the title race, we didn't look competitive against Manchester City in either of the games we played. And obviously this season we know it's a lot different. We've been to big places and we've done well, and this is how we cement ourselves going into the future. And for me, I think Arsenal should just keep it maybe the same system that we did against them at home. Obviously change it up in game, little adaptations that he loves to do, but I think the Jorginho double pivot might be the way to go in this game. Put Havertz up front, which we played in the Community Shield, and I think it actually worked quite well in that game. And if you can't play Martinelli, maybe consider playing Gabriel Jesus out on that left. I still really want to give him a go, and I know it's a stressful game, but I think he'll be much more important than Trossard in that role. There's also question marks on the left back situation. Kivior of course played 120 minutes just the other day, so could be a bit tired. Timber I don't expect to start, so Zinchenko could have to come in, which I don't mind if you can find the way to make him usable, but with Jorginho in there I think it kind of dilates the point of him in the team. And I expect everyone else to sort of be the same, but let me know what you guys think, who should be the starting 11 and what do you think is going to really dictate this game. Now I have a few ideas that I will get on later on in the week. This is just a little preview of the game itself. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully Arsenal win, of course. Let me know what you think, and if you like this video, please go and watch my video yesterday where I talk about Arsenal's best wonder kid in the academy right now. Thank you for watching.